So my name is Will Tomlinson. I am the director of the Software and Application Innovation Lab, also known as SAIL, and we exist here at BU. SAIL, well, before I get into that, the title of my talk is Anchored in Diversity, SAIL's Role in Bridging the Representation Gap in Computing. I'd also like to mention that SAIL sits within the Hariri Institute for Computing, which is on floors 11 and 12 of this building. So if you want to visit floors 11 and 12, go ahead and give it a shot. But before we get into the details, I like to say I've only been here at BU for about a year, less than a year and a half. So things I'm going to talk about are pretty much in an infant stage, but I think we made some great progress and have some great plans for the future. I'd like to share those with you. So to give you an overview, SAIL exists to be BU's support arm for researchers, faculty members here doing research that desire professional quality software products in the form of full stack web and mobile applications. Basically, we position ourselves as professionally staffed resources here to develop software for any and every person needing to do research. A couple highlights, we worked with over 70 different faculty members across 20 plus departments, collaborating in proposal efforts totaling over $30 million in value, which have resulted in 24 active projects. We have a staff of 14 individuals. And as a result of, I think, being here in the CCDS this year, but a couple of link drops to our summer internship application, over 100 plus applications in about 2 weeks, which made things quite chaotic for a small team. But nonetheless, we press onward. And so what I want to talk about more is that what are we doing now, obviously, is the whole goal of this chat here today. And a quote to me comes to mind is that leaders are water carriers of culture. And so for SAIL and me being the director of SAIL, for us to move forward and adding those numbers and bridging the gap in terms of underrepresented groups in STEM and in computing is leading by example. And so SAIL is a majority minority run organization, as you can see here by the lovely individuals on these slides. But in order to keep this sort of traction going and to keep a culture that we want to reflect, that we want to positively reflect in terms of diversity, we have to put forth various pipelines to create opportunities, enhance student skill sets, and provide exposure to students in many different ways. And so some of the pipelines that we tried to instantiate over my year and a half here touch all throughout. So high school, well, particularly high school and undergraduate and graduate students. So this slide here shows a few of the partnerships that we're trying to form or have been forming to help create those pipelines, to give these students the exposure, the skill sets, the knowledge, and understanding that they have a place in computing and other fields as well. Whether the goal is to come to SAIL or not, the goal is still, in my mind, to bridge that gap and to provide that access. So one example is BU Spark, who the director, Ziba Kramner, is here. We've collaborated in many different ways. I could probably have my own separate micro talk about the Spark related collaborations. BU Academy, which is one that's in the works now, but seeking to perform mentorship activities, workshops, hackathons, things of that nature, centered around computing and data science, machine learning, AI, various aspects of computing to, again, do the goals I mentioned. NSF workshops, where the goal is to work with mostly graduate students who have a domain research specialty, whether it be mechanical engineering or machine learning, what have you, but to imbue upon them professional practices or industry leading practices for software development so that they can carry on their research in a more effective way and provide us with a little more ease of transition as we take software that's usually developed by graduate students and bring that to a professional level of quality. And most recently, through Upward Bound Math and Science, which is a new partnership we formed. I think I started having conversations with Emily like my first 2 months here at BU. And so that's really transitioned into something that is worth noting today. And I'll expand a little bit more on that, which currently we're in a program right now. This week, we had a session today with the students in Upper Bound Math and Science, largely underrepresented backgrounds of students. And the goal is to conduct some technical hands-on workshop around computer science and machine learning. The students have been great today. The students were great today. I think the important thing to notice is that the students were receptive of the knowledge we tried to impart on them, despite getting information that usually is given in a course level fashion, and they've got it in like 4 to 6 hours. So I think that was a success to hang our hats on for now. But the audience is, as you see here, 9th, 11th, and 12th graders for this session, 10 students roughly, all with varying levels of backgrounds in computer science exposure. But the most important thing to note is that we are moving towards better avenues to provide these sorts of services. And with that comes, I think, a village level approach at providing those level of resources. And that's whether it be creating more semester long projects for the students to work on, having other labs or places for the students to sit to also gain other points of knowledge, not just focus on certain aspects of CS or machine learning and AI, and having a more dedicated access to other mentors and other resources here at BU. SAIL is only so large, we can only do so much. So it's really us leaning on the shoulders of everyone that plays a role in this whole endeavor to make their experiences and things much more attractive. Thank you.